like both guys' demeanors, nice and relaxed. They seem calm, composed. So, see how it starts.
Always starts calm and composed.
Yeah.
Kevin Horowitz, as Bill Carpenter pointed out, does have 2 wins by submission. Not necessarily a knockout specialist. He will try to grind you out. Shawn Summey, on the other hand, has had 2 early knockouts in his victories, so we'll see how that style clashes if Horowitz can kind of keep him in this fight. Summey really hasn't gone too far past the second round as a pro yet. Maybe that's a factor if this fight happens to get to the third round. We'll see if Horowitz has any edge if it gets to that point.
Yeah, Summey's definitely got the reach advantage, but even when Horowitz fought, when he fought Keith Jeffries, he was getting in on him, which was very surprising. So I'd like to see.
Horowitz likes to switch too. You'll see him switch from southpaw back to kind of dictate his way getting in. But
it kind of makes it like an ugly fight, which is he gets in, man. He does his job.
That's the style he wants. Nice early kick by Shawn Summey. Just
nice
pushed Horowitz in the cage.
Right
Good straight right hand. He's pushing Horowitz back so far early on. And again, Mike, like you said, that reach advantage playing a factor for Summey.
So I guess not all guys from Dragon's Lair are ground guys.
So far, we've seen the exact opposite from Shawn
Well, maybe
Summey.
a little more proficient on the ground, but there's this another straight right hand he's trying to time coming in using that distance.
And he's got to throw some combinations, though. Just trying to land that right hand, it's not going to happen.
Well, he's got Horowitz on the ground. Horowitz doesn't
Horowitz
seem too
is
particularly
cut.
phased. He is
Yeah,
cut,
he's
though,
already
as
got a
Scott
cut.
pointed out. It just looks like a below or above the right eye.
Oh, there's this
Nice
Another right
straight
hand.
right.
And Horowitz is eating some shots early on here. We're just a minute and a half into the opening round.
Apparently his left hand's for show. That's a double straight right. Mike, has he thrown a left yet?
He's thrown 2. See, now if this hits the ground, I'm just interested to see what happens.
He's defending well, pulling the head up and trying not to let him get underneath his legs there.
I think Horowitz just has like that awkward body that's just really difficult to deal with. He's got that low center of gravity. He's a strong guy.
3:07 to go in round number 1.
Again with that straight right hand, not setting it up.
He caught Horowitz coming in that time.
Yeah, Horowitz has got to keep his hands up.
Nice leg kick. He's got to follow that up, though, to get inside.
Yeah, Horowitz is throwing 1 or 2 punches or 1 or 2 kicks. He's not really mixing much up. Well, he did a little bit there, caught him.
Yep.
When you're fighting somebody at a reach disadvantage such as this, Mike, how do you work on getting inside against a guy like Shawn Summey?
Like I said earlier, you just got to make it an ugly fight and just get inside. Do whatever you can do to get inside. Like right now, Horowitz is staying at the end of those punches, and he's
His hands are down by his waist, and he's just throwing them from the floor.
yeah, he's consistently hitting, but not good.
Looks like he tried a judo throw and got himself in a tough spot.
He tried to sweep that leg and instead got caught, and now Horowitz finds himself in trouble here with 2:14 to go.
He's defending fairly well. He has a little bit of control there on
Not letting him get that arm underneath. Now, at least not all the way. He's not really burying it in too deep yet. Oh, he's still got 2 more minutes to try to kick out of this before the end of round number 1.
Yeah, right now I would just get the feet out of there, put him on the hips, and just try to flatten him out to the best of my ability at this point.
Right.
Get up. Winning on the feet. Get up.
Exactly. Fight gets back on its feet. So far, it's been all Shawn Summey early on in this one.
But that just goes to show what we're saying about Horowitz. If he can defend against Jeffries, that's a pretty high caliber defense. He got up off of the floor right there from a tough position fairly well.
He definitely has enough measuring stick fights to go by. And certainly Keith Jeffrey in that last one on November 18th would fall under that category as well. And so far against Shawn Summey, he's standing in there. He's taking some shots. He's taking a licking, and he's still ticking so far. 1:20 to go in round number 1 of this welterweight opening bout here at Extreme Measures. Shawn Summey against Kevin Horowitz.
Somebody's got him cut under the right eye, but he won't throw
He's
the
not
jab
going
out and
after
stick
it.
it and work
Right.
it. He should
going-
really flash that jab in his face, even if he's short.
I like how he's picking his shots with his right hand and his right foot.
For sure.
But I mean, if he would just throw like a 1-2-3 combination, I think he would probably ended it.
Coming up on 1 minute remaining in round number 1.
The only thing I think that Horowitz should honestly be using to try and get inside at least some feints. He's either it's red light, green light. He's either stopping and going. He needs to feint, trick him, get him off balance a little bit.
He has a fairly good outside leg kick. If he would follow that up, use that as your distance, Well, here we go. Nice recovery off the missed throw.
Yeah.
Got about 25 seconds left.
And he's got to pass that knee. Good.
got to get a little bit of work in here. Good defense here, keeping him off.
Summey just pushing him off with his legs. But Horowitz, he's tough. He will try to get in as close as he can. Final 10 seconds of round number 1. And a decent finish for Horowitz, but that round pretty much goes to Shawn Summey. No question about that. Now, if you're Kevin Horowitz, guys, you've seen a little bit of a pattern by Shawn Summey, not really using the left to jab like you pointed out, Scott, and just trying to come in with that right hand. If you're Shawn Summey, you at least try to counterpunch and maybe catch him open when he throws that right.
He has to come in with something, Horowitz does. He's not coming in with anything else with the exception of that rear leg kick, and he's not following it up. So if he can do what Mike said, throw some feints, change levels, something to kind of get him off his timing. Summey's off his timing. But it looks like Summey's content to sit and wait for him to come in and, like Mike said, pick his shots.
Yeah, right now, Shawn looks comfortable. What Horowitz has to do is keep him on his heels, keep him guessing. That's with wrestlers, even strikers, or even professional grapplers. You don't want them to just either throw their strike or shoot their takedown when they feel like it. You want to really keep him on his heels, keep him backing up, just keep him guessing at this point. No, I honestly, if I was Horowitz, I would go with like overhand right, follow up with a left hook, because he's not going to follow with his own left hook. You're not going to run into anything.
Honestly, even if he just shot a double, I'd be happy.
As the fight progresses, you do get to a certain point where you won't win on the scorecards and may have to just go all out to try to do something to turn the tide of the fight. And we'll see if it does eventually get to that point for Kevin Horowitz. Round number 2 just getting underway against Shawn Summey. And again, Summey coming in with those right hands, trying to use the legs as well. We'll see if Horowitz makes an adjustment of what his corner might have told him during that break after round 1.
He's switching back to orthodox, and then he goes right back to southpaw. There it is. Nice.
Good slam.
That's a great slam by Horowitz. Summey got a little too over-aggressive with the kick and missed, and we'll see if Horowitz can take advantage.
But again, I like to see if Horowitz capitalizes on this on this position. He didn't last time. Oh, he's got the leg lock. No, he's got to take his back now. He's got to let it go. Run away, run away, run away.
That cut looks like it's getting worse under Horowitz's eye. Not enough to cause any sort of stoppage, but it's coming down pretty well.
It's under the eye, so it's not going to affect his vision.
It won't go in his eye.
Will affect his vision.
The next day it will, certainly.
He's still trying to work that. I don't know if he's trying to look at it as a sweep.
No, he's got the heel hook.
Did he get the heel underneath? Nice call, Mike. He's out.
He had to let it go.
Good action so far in the early goings of round number 2.
Summey did very well to recover guard from that position, so kind of neutralize that side position.
Yeah, he keeps throwing the one leg in to kind of get me thinking that he likes the X guard sweeps. I don't think Horowitz is giving it to him, though.
This is where Horowitz needs to just get busy.
Or get it done.
Well, he's finally close enough. He wasn't able to do it while he's on his feet, but now in this position, Horowitz can get close enough to unload.
Triangle attempt.
He absolutely,
Comes the armbar.
Nice out for them with that. He's stacking him well enough where I don't think he can get at the hip extension.
Yeah, it was a good job by Horowitz understanding like that fine line where he wasn't in trouble. He didn't panic.
Exactly.
Horowitz trying to fire those right hands and not much getting through. Summey doing a good job defending himself.
Nice hammer.
That one got in.
A couple more short ones like that will open things up.
This is where Horowitz's experience can play a factor, guys.
I love Scott's analogies. We'll open things up. You mean Shawn?
It's your interpretation of what I was saying.
No, but that's very. I gotta say, Shawn does an awesome job with his legs defending.
He does. Just pushing Horowitz off him a couple times. Did it early on in round 1 and doing it again here in round number 2.
Well, what he's doing well is that he's not extending both legs, pulling him in, or extending both legs. He's either one's close and one's far away, and that's exactly the way to do it.
Horowitz landed a nice left during that exchange.
I don't see him throwing any elbows. This is perfect elbow position right there. He should just be short little elbows, and he's not working them. He's really reaching up high and exposing himself.
Or even work the rib cage while somebody's trying to defend his head. He's leaving the whole side of his body open. Horowitz not taking advantage of that. And again, Summey just trying to push off with the legs.
Right.
Horowitz gets back down on top. 1:48 to go in round number 2. And this round taking a much different turn than round number 1, mostly on the ground so far, where you figure Shawn Summey has the advantage based on his training.
Horowitz is past the really good side control now.
Now he's raining down punches.
He's got an under. I think he's got a little bit too much space. He should drop his hips, but outside of that, he looks pretty solid in this position.
I think he's trying to go for a. Little crucifix. Keeps on trying to tuck that arm.
One thing trying to walk the wall there, trying to walk that cage.
There you go.
There it is. He's isolating the far arm. Yep, you got it, Mike. A couple short little hammer fists here would pay dividends.
And just to get him to lower that right arm and then trap it. He can even go for inverted friggin'. Sorry. He can even go for. Sorry, guys.
Might get a little excited.
Yeah, an inverted triangle also.
Again, Horowitz with those right hands just trying to rain pain down on top of Summey. Getting a couple through right there.
He's shorting it. Nice attempt at mounting. Great defense of it.
He's got to watch his own leg now. I just wish Horowitz would attack more with his hips instead of his head when he tries to attack that guard. That's why, I mean, he would be able to strike so much more efficiently that way.
Summey doing a nice job in this round defending while on his back.
Nice pass there to
Great.
take his back. Well done. Horowitz made a nice move there.
That was like that BJ Penn stack pass.
22 seconds to go in round number 2. It looks like we are going to the third and final round here, guys.
That's the second time he attempted mount, and he got
pushed off.
So hopefully Horowitz looks like he's a little tired right here. He's going to stay busy. Show the judges that you own the round. Shawn's got to work to get up here. He spent the entire round on his back.
Well, based on how these are typically scored here at the event center, that round more than likely will go to Kevin Horowitz. Looks like we're going to have an even fight going into round number 3. Now we'll see if Shawn Summey's strength can play a factor or if Kevin Horowitz's experience plays a factor going into that third and final round. What do you guys think?
I'd have to agree. I think it's one round apiece right now, Mike.
It's one round apiece, and like you stated earlier, Mike, I just think it's whatever guy implements his game plan at this final round.
This is a who wants it more round.
And surprisingly, you're going to see a Dragon Lair fighter come out and probably want to keep it standing up because that's where really he dominated in round number 1. If you're Shawn Summey, you probably want to go up there and you'd be more than happy with exchanging and delivering those right hands. Doesn't seem like Horowitz has any sort of defense for that or any way to get inside once that fight's on. Once they're both on their feet.
Well, he hasn't shown it so far. And, you know, although who would have seen Horowitz be that dominant in the second round? So maybe he's got it. Maybe he needed a round to loosen up and get the sweat going.
I would love to see Shawn use that jab. But at least put a jab in front of that cross.
I think his corner would like that, too.
It'd be a good time to toss things up here in the third and final round of this welterweight opening bout here at Extreme Measures. Shawn Summey in the red, white, and blue trunks. Kevin Horowitz,
3 right hands in a row.
Backed up pretty quickly in the opening seconds.
Looks like he's attacked. Nice single.
Great single, good trip. Horowitz on top again.
He's got to work his balance and get that hip.
And Horowitz has done a nice job on the ground, which I would not expect coming into this fight. I really thought Horowitz might actually be the better fighter if they were standing up toe-to-toe, and that hasn't been the case.
He showed what great defense he had, you know, like we were saying against Jeffrey. So he has a ground game, and obviously it seems to be where he's most comfortable.
And, I mean, if you, statistically speaking, Shawn's coming in with 2 wins with 2 knockouts. So maybe he does like to stand.
That's true. 4 minutes to go in the third and final round.
He's got great position right now, Horowitz does. He's got a knee on the hip. He's got his other knee high into the armpit.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Scott, he took away that space that he was kind of neglecting last time in the second round.
Now trying to drive those knees to the rib cage.
He's going to go.
He
Don't
can
go
get
mount again. Please don't go mount again.
Horowitz can get mount so easily, but then Shawn just escapes it so easily. So
just uses that leg strength to kick him right off him.
Yeah.
We've seen it a couple of times. We've seen it in each of the first 2 rounds.
It looks like if Horowitz stays heavy on him and keeps busy, Shawn doesn't have an answer for it.
If Shawn spends the entire round in this position, there's really no way he could win this round. If you really think about it logistically, this is where Horowitz wants to be. It's where he's most comfortable. It's where he was comfortable in round 2 and certainly made an impression on the judges in that round. 3.5 more minutes of this would win him the fight.
Yeah. Horowitz he keeps on trying to work for that. He wants that crucifix bad.
Somebody's doing a good job of tucking his head under Horowitz's chest to try to not eat too many of those punches, but they are getting through.
And certainly the fatigue factor will help your defense weaken at some point when you get to that third and final round.
When you're on the bottom, you get fatigued. When you're on the top, it's a little easier to breathe. But he's got knee on belly. And
I'm surprised, Scott, like you stated earlier. I haven't seen Horowitz throw one good elbow. Like right now.
Those are perfect position from the mount.
Some of these shots are getting through, not doing a ton of damage. And again, like you said, Scott, somebody just tucking his head into his chest to try to deflect some of the blows.
He used a good crossface there, Horowitz, to get his head, off his chest so he could punch, but it's a great spot for an elbow.
I really liked what Horowitz's corner just said. He was going to go for an attempt an armbar, but what he would have done, he just established his great position. If he went for the armbar and missed it, he would have ended up on his back. So good job.
This is the spot to be in if you're Kevin Horowitz.
So long as he can stay heavy. So long as he can stay heavy and keep a good base. That was the first elbow I've seen.
I think Horowitz is a kind of like I wouldn't say a jiu-jitsu or wrestler guy, but he's like that touchy-feely guy. He needs to, if he can hold on to you, control you, kind of feel where you're going, and kind of dictate the pace of the fight.
There's a couple of nice bombs.
Hey, good trap of the arm.
Great trap of the arm. Nice call. Just a matter of staying on his base, and he recovered very well. He's really making Shawn pay for these here.
You know what the problem is, too, is that Shawn has such long arms. When he pushes on Horowitz's chest, Horowitz can't reach him with the punches, and I think that's why he tries to... There you go, Horowitz is landing him now.
Summey really needs to defend. He needs to give the...
He has to give the referee a reason to not stop the fight at this point, because he's just eating shots without really responding.
Horowitz did a great job to put him right back down on the mat.
Yeah, Summey almost got up from that, and it could have at least kicked out, but Horowitz...
Now Horowitz is really starting to drop those punches.
He's really just landing here at last minute.
Shawn's not really doing too much to escape from this position. No. I'm not sure if it's because he doesn't know how to or he's just tired.
It appears Summey will survive the round, but probably won't get the victory at this pace. Horowitz has dominated this round.
This could quite possibly, if it was scored a 10-8 round, I wouldn't argue with it. He spent the entire round on his back, Summey has.
And got taken down.
Exactly correct.
I believe the second round he went for an attempted judo throw, right? And I think Horowitz just kind of settled back, so that could be a 10-9.
Just gave up the mount for a nice side control where he can stay heavy and drop some small punches here.
Ride out these final 26 seconds and essentially ride it to victory for Kevin Horowitz.
Nice knee.
Underused. Nice knee.
I was just going to say that. Good job. I was going to say very underutilized weapon. Good job. Scott, I mean, you also have an MMA background. I mean, I prefer side control over the mount.
You know, everybody's different, but I agree with you. There he goes. He just attempted that arm bar. And
a little too late. However, a dominant finish for Kevin Horowitz, from our perspective, taking the final 2 rounds of this 3-round welterweight bout. And it looks like Shawn Summey will be handed the first loss of his career, and a very good win for Kevin Horowitz coming in from Queens, New York, doing a nice job in the last 2 rounds, maintaining his dominance on the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, having completed the scheduled distance of 3 5-minute rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for your official decision. Judge Avery scores the bout 29-27. Judges Lima and LaMontagne both have it 29-28. All 3 judges scoring for your winner by unanimous decision, Kevin Horowitz.